It's going like, right, you're like.
We're live, here we are. Hello there, people. Guys, we are here today with Dale Brendan Hyde.
Yep.
He's going to tell you what he's about and everything. And yeah, he's a fantastic, he's a writer, he's a bare knuckle fighter. We're just over to you, Dale. Would you just let people know what you do?
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, just wanted to come on Brian's show. Just trying to republish my books. I've got away from an old publisher. Started with a company in the Philippines called GMGA, and we're relaunching all my books. The Ink Run, which was my first crime fiction novel.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my first crime fiction novel, The Ink Run. It's got some fantastic reviews, and it's getting relaunched. It's got some of the best writers in the world now are backing it. Paul Finch sold over 1 million copies. Sunday Times best-selling author. Got Valerie Keogh, Ireland's best-selling Irish writer. Sunday Times bestseller, Bloodhound Books. And I've got Sean A. Cosby from America. He's author of Blacktop Wasteland. He's just books absolutely flying through market at the minute. He's just Paramount Pictures has just picked it up for the film, and Sean's kindly given me this is the old copy, but on the front here we're gonna have Sean's quote on here, giving the book all what he thinks about it. It's a big boost for the book, so hopefully a good relaunch.
Yeah. So
that was the first book.
We're coming at the end of this year. What's happening? What's going to be happening next year in 2021?
Yeah, we're just getting past Christmas now, nearly into 2021. Again, like I said, I've relaunched. This is the Whiskey Pool. It's a self-help book for alcoholics.
That's good.
It's all about rebirth, Buddhism, gives you a bit of guidance through problems, but it's a good story as well. But it's only a little short story. It's only, you can read it in an afternoon. That's getting put back out through GMGA.
Brilliant.
I've got the first thing I ever wrote, what a poetry book. I started with poetry, did the T.S. Eliot Prize, put it in for a competition. That's never been released to the public before, so that's coming back out on GMGA. They're the old books.
So I'm going to go back to when you were at school.
Oh, school.
That's a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
what was it like being at school? What were you like at school?
I was just a bit of a class clown at school. Didn't really knuckle down. Always got them reports saying could do better. Talent were there. Never really pushed it. Got into trouble pretty early after school. I did a few jobs, but pretty much went straight to jail for robberies.
Right.
Not like what you were doing, but I was just sort of
no, thanks.
street. No, but I wish I'd have done what you were doing.
What help with the power?
just more silly stuff. I ended up in jail when you count out exactly what I'd made. I ended up getting six years at 18 for street robberies, mugging people, and I earned like a few hundred quid, and I blew it all on drugs. I was same sort of thing. What I'd explained. Got involved with crack, which I was running up to Chapeltown, robbing somebody, going to Chapeltown, getting a rock, getting off my head. Then it'd wear off. Then I'd be back in Leeds having a pint, spotting people. Right, I'll rob them next. And I was glad when I got arrested, because I didn't even realise, Brian, when police arrested me, they were like, "You don't understand like how serious this is. You're under arrest for like street robbery." And I was like, "I've only been taxing people." Yeah. And they were like, "What you on about?" And I was like, "Well, what are you on about?" So I didn't even. I was
changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you were doing like 20 odd years ago, it was different.
I was just glad, and I come up this way. They put me in a prison in Yorkshire first, but I was still like kicking off, and then they put me up in. It's been pulled down Northampton.
Yeah.
So I did most of my time with old Geordie lads. There were a lot of lads in from South Shields, a lot of better lads. Yeah. So I got to know all them sort of. There were only me in there from Yorkshire and a couple of Scouse lads.
So what was the first job you had? What was the first proper job you had?
Outside? Well, when I left school, I did slaughterhouse for a little bit. Terrible. I didn't want to do it.
Was that a YTS thing you were on?
Oh, we did. We did YTS. We did like construction, Henry Boats, Henry Boat construction, City and Girls. Passed all that. I learned a few things, but not where you ended up going into a business.
Right.
Did underpinning for a little bit, digging down, but again, it was just all blokes. Like it was piss tech. You were young and on site, so it was just filling batter, filling skips.
Is it true that you were the first person to write the Paul Sykes book, but you couldn't finish it because you ended up getting cancer, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was going to do some stuff on the Paul Sykes stuff. I helped an author that's I don't get on with anymore. He's not a nice person. Right. I don't really want to mention his name.
What made you want to get into books before?
Went from prison. It was like afterward. There were a big screw. We were a big. There were one. I didn't really get on with screws, but there were one. He was an Irish fellow called Mr. Derry, and he was massive. He had a lot of respect for everybody. Respected because of the size of him.
Right.
And he used to always come to block and say, get me out at block and say, look, you know, you can do better than just what you know. You need to shape yourself up.
Because he seen potential in you.
Yeah, he used to. He gave me some. He gave me some pads and paper and stuff, and went, look, here, you know, there were nothing that block in them days. You didn't even have any electricity. There were no electricity, no toilets. He gave me some pads and pens, and I used to like. Some you could get a few books from library, but most of the people I learned then what I didn't know what word were called, but I know now it's called a bibliophile. So it's people that rip out back a book, so you can't get you're enjoying your book, and when you get to the end, it's like what's that? So they're bibliophiles in prison, people that just want to cause you a bit of you know. So I started writing the ends to books.
I was going to say that
myself because I didn't know ending to them. I'd read them and think, well, where's that? What's happened there?
Right.
So I started like designing. Writing ends of books, and that's what got me into getting a bit creative and doing stuff. Yeah.
So what was what were you saying about the Paul Sykes book when you were writing that?
Paul Sykes. Well,
that book.
What the one that I did the chapter?
Yeah,
it was called Unfinished Agony. I did a chapter on that because my great granddad trained Paul Sykes when my great granddad had a boxing gym in Wakefield called the Bridge Hotel. It was up above a pub. So he used to train him when we were young. Yeah, I did a few.
He wasn't liked, was he, Paul Sykes?
He wasn't really liked at all.
Bully, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of people round Upstate where we were. I was from Salford, and then my mum moved to Manchester, so my dad moved over to Wakefield. We lived on. My nan were on Broadway, which was the biggest council estate. We're the biggest council estate in Europe at the time, so a massive council estate.
Right.
Sykes were like, you see him now and again. He were in and out of jail, but when he were on manor, he was running up and down, running about drunk and all the time. You know what I mean? But because he had some respect for my family.
Someone said you told me that he got a good hide once in a pub off Alan.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to say his name or anything.
No, a good friend of mine, Colin Beaumont. Colin was well respected. Colin had been in early sort of craze books, but he wasn't one of these that tell you about it.
Yeah.
He just got on. He was just a quietish bloke, but he'd blow your bollocks off with shotgun, and you know he was a nutcase in that sense. But I know his family. My mum, all my family know his family.
Right.
And yeah, he was once messing about, bothering. Trying to have a quiet pine. Sykes was trying to wind up, kept saying, leave me alone.
Is this Wakefield?
Yeah, it was in Wakefield. It was in, I think it was in a pub called Shakespeare.
Right.
And Colin ended up getting one of them old bar stools and knocked him unconscious, put him in hospital. Sykes, then he was in his prime, but he never come back and did all. Yeah, because you know what Colin was like. He won't come back. He won't come back at you if you.
That's what he's like, Andrew, though.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They pick on someone and keep picking, getting away with it. But some people will stand up. They can be that big. Yeah. But only takes a finger, pull a trigger. Doesn't so.
I think this is why when he got more run down when he were older, do you know what I mean? When people said people were bullying him, a lot of it were like kids he'd crack their dad, or he'd crack their uncle or something, and then young'uns sort of thought, get him.
Yeah, it's revenge now.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
so what was the first book you got published then?
First book was the ink run. It took me 10 years to do it because I handwritten it, and then I was like sort of nervous of looking at the manuscript like that.
I pulled it back out of that one.
I kept putting off doing it, and then I started editing it, and then just as I got typing it, I typed about 154,000 words. I got 50,000 words typed, and then I got diagnosed with cancer, bowel cancer.
Right.
So I all put everything into a spin. Yeah. And I think in the next 2 years after that, I only typed about 10,000 words. That's how much it slowed me down, proper slowed me down.
Yeah. So what's happening to these days? What are you up to?
What with the cancer?
You're telling me you've got cancer again.
Yeah, the cancer's back in me. It's been so I got it out of my bowel, and then it's been the trouble's been in my liver, spread into my liver. It's been in twice. I've had 2 major surgeries. I've had half my liver out, then I've had 35% of it out. Keep getting clear for about 2 years, just about. Steadily building myself back up. I don't mean I'm like doing up Mr. Olympia. I'm on about you're just learning how to.
It's mentally as well.
Walking, you crawl. It's like your baby steps. You're just getting back on your feet at the point to think, right, I feel okay. Don't feel totally like death warmed up. And now it's come back in my liver again. So I start radiotherapy. Like I said, we're just coming out of Christmas. We're nearly finished over Christmas now. Yeah. So I think it's going to be